Guys, I want to jump on real quick here. I've said this before. I'm just going to reiterate this. If you're looking to do a shed to tiny home build, remember one thing. You're living in this thing. And you need to pay attention to the safety factors of things. Excuse me, I dropped my glasses. You're going to need to look for your own safety. Please do the right thing. I see somebody posting on these Facebook forums and stuff about, well, the companies they're using, they're not quality. And they ask, and I said, you need to get some plans and you need to do this and get it custom built. Well, that's just too expensive. And where I'm at, there's no propane delivery, no water. We're just out living off grass. That's fine. But if you're in a wind-prone area, I beg of you to get this thing built right, get it strapped down to a foundation right, get your hurricane strapping right. You need residential windows here, folks. You need walls tall enough to where you're in a room where this is a house. You're in it. It's a building. Listen, I don't claim that my build is the best in the world. I mean, hell, if you look closely at the shadow of my seams, my drywall isn't perfect. Later, I can have somebody come in and skim coat them. I mean, there are a lot of guys that did drywall, my plumbers and stuff that came in and said, if you can, for somebody who's never done drywall before, you did a good job. And I'll take that. I'm okay. But it ain't perfect. Trust me, I don't claim it to be all that, perfect. But, just make sure, you're going to be living in this. You come in here, you've got your bathroom with your proper shower. My washer and dryer's over there. I've got the right hookups, the electrical. There's another residential type window. And the windows, you've got to have an egress opening on it. If you look at the smaller window in my bathroom, you got to be able to, God forbid something happens, you got to get out of this thing. I want y'all to think about that. Egress opening means this thing opens downward, it comes up. Everything's there. See my security system in there. I still got to clean that sticker off the window. I haven't done that, sorry. But I've got the things in here I need. And I did the right thing. I got the building permit. I got the plans to build it. Went to the right things because it's real estate. It will mature. Being where I'm at, I had to do that. But you can still do it. Even if you don't get the building permit, get build plans and tell this company, here's the build plans. Here's what we got to do. Be very specific and tell them to do it. It's going to cost you a little bit extra. Listen, if I can remember, I think I paid my shed alone out here. If you could see it, you've seen the shed. With my shed out there alone, this whole shell being built, windows and all, is like $25,000. Guys, you're going to pay the money to do it, but you got to do it right. The flooring's in here. Everything is, and the building inspector's like, everything was just turned out great, did a great job. But you got to get hurricane strapping for your own safety and get this thing treated and everything done. Your floor joists on this thing, they've got to be. Let me walk in here and show you something. I've shown this before, but I want y'all to pay attention to stuff, okay? Again, I'm not saying I'm the be-all, end-all. People can blow holes in mine all they want, but it's real estate. I just filed my 4% for my tax credit on the house. But, you look at that. Let me zoom this out. But as you can see, it's a shed to house, but it's on a concrete footings and piers that have PA straps from the ground up, and everything's done right to code with concrete. But look at my floor joists here. Your floor joists are all bolted in to those PA straps. These are 2x10 floor joists on the porch that go into 2x12 floor joists on the house. See the hurricane straps? I live in a hurricane area, but if you're in a wind-prone area, I don't care where you're at in this country, I'm convinced that you always need that strapping for a lift. You get windstorms and wind shears all the time, thunderstorms. You can lift your house, throw it in your neighbor's yard. But these windows are all residential windows. These are all piers. And I want to show you one other thing. These are perimeter footings. They're around the whole part of the house. And between the porch and the house, you got a footing over there that goes. And all I have to do now is I have to cut the front part of the skids, and I'm gonna skirt this with vinyl lattice, I think, for a while. Then I may do the deck boards later, but that's a different subject. But I'm just saying, guys, get your build plans and build this thing right, because all this, even with this, had to be built to code. The height of the walls in this thing are like 7 feet, 8 inches, 7, 9, almost 8 feet minimum to code. Most of these sheds that are built, the walls are 6 feet. You'd have to maybe get an RV shower in there if you did that, or custom tile it. You couldn't get a regular shower stall. But you see the power on my house. Here where I live, I had required to get the power I couldn't do off grid. I couldn't do it. But everything is done legally. But regardless of whether you want to go off grid or whatever you want to do, I built my steps to code. They were all, and that was the one thing that the building inspector complimented, and I'd never done that before, thank God. He said the steps were built great. Do you see the strapping on the steps, the hangers and the bolts and the 4x4 poles for code? He said you kind of went beyond code on that. You did a good job. And I'm just telling you guys, please just do the right thing. I know it's expensive, but you got to save the money and do it right. You know, it's up to you what you want to live in. That's your choice. That's okay. I'm not knocking that. You do what you want to do. I mean, I'd love to have this thing off grid. I think it'd be cool, but can't do that here. But I'm just kind of telling y'all guys, just please, whatever you do the right thing. Do the right thing. Go get some build plans. It cost me $750 for some build plans. But even if for some reason you don't do that, you got to tell these people, I need it built to residential code. We got to get hurricane straps. You got to get a moisture wrap between the siding and the framing. I got a moisture wrap. You want an underlayment on your roof. An underlayment is what goes under shingles or roofing. That's very important. You've got to have that underlayment because you will have problems eventually. Normally on these sheds, they don't put an underlayment on that deal. They just don't do it. They don't do it, my friends. And I want you to just pay attention to that stuff. There's a lot of questions being asked. And, you know, I'm not saying you're trying to cut corners, but guys, for your own safety, the windows, you got to be able to, by your bedroom and living room to code, you got to have that 3 foot by 5 foot window. You got to have that to code. You got to be able to get out of that. That's safety. You got to have your smoke alarms done and your carbon monoxide if you had gas. But I mean, it's by my bedroom. I got a big old 3 by 5 window. It makes a world of difference. The windows that come with those sheds are single pane. They're not energy efficient. These are gas-filled, energy-efficient residential windows. Safety, their impact's safe too. Listen, those thin windows that come in sheds, they don't hold up to impact. You let a tree limb bump that window, it shatter that window right out of there. Not much you can do about that. You know, so just keep those things in mind, please. I just really wanted to reiterate that. I'm not trying to be a be-all, end-all. Just think these things through when you're doing this, because there are companies, I don't want to mention the name, one that starts with a G. They mass produce them so much. The siding is cheap. It's not an LP siding. Please get your decking on your floor and your roof and your walls all LP. That's a lap siding. It's infused with a glue and some treatment where it withstands a lot of water and a lot of things where for long term, that siding, it's a lap siding. If that company doesn't do it, find a company that will. Make sure they're framing. Tell them you want a 16, 16 on center framing and you need it blocked and framed right for your windows and everything. Tell them what you're going to do. All depends on what you know how to do. You know, there are a lot of you that know better than I do and how to build things. If you can frame it yourself, my architect kept saying, frame the thing yourself. I'm like, I don't have that and I won't pass it. I just want to get the shell and this is going to be okay for me. I'm good with it. So, but anyway, just wanted to pass that on. I hope you guys just think that through. See you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.